Welcome to our video bulletin for Friday the 13th of November. We're just entering the second week of this second lockdown, and although there's no public worship at the moment, there is still an open church welcoming many visitors. And although many of us have remained at home, and you can see that I'm sitting in my study at home at the moment, working from home or staying largely at home doesn't mean that the activity of the church has stopped. There are still many people in the city centre, and if you were to wander into church at any time in the next week or two, you'll see that we still have visitors. We still have people coming in and leaving prayers and lighting candles and spending time with us. And that's one of the most important bits, if not the most important bit of our city centre ministry, being there with an open door. And people are leaving their prayers, and this month we've been encouraged to focus on prayer. If you've been watching our social media, you'll see that on Facebook we've been putting up a lot of prompts and resources to help you with prayer in November. And we're also releasing 4 video reflections on the subject of prayer every Tuesday. And the next one will come out next Tuesday, and Father Fergus will be presenting that one. And the work with an open building continues as we receive donations to the food bank. So again, if you're in the city centre and would like to donate, just drop in and bring donations of food. If you are at home and would like to donate to the food bank, then please just contact the church office and we can come and collect from you. Well, being at home is something which has been a challenge to so many, and have found that they're cut off from so many friends and community members. But that's what our Meet the Congregation slot is all about. It's keeping in touch with each other. So Ian's been talking this week to Pamela.
Hello and welcome to the Meet the Congregation video for this week, the 13th or 14th of September, something like that. And I am joined by a very special, brilliant and beautiful member of the congregation, Pamela. Pamela, how are you on this fine morning?
I'm fine. Could do with not being in lockdown, but otherwise I'm fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that how it's for everybody?
Yeah. It was hard yesterday because the weather was so good and I was stuck inside.
Yeah, it was. But I live in Port Sunlight, and we've had a coffee, because everything's closed in Port Sunlight, but we've had this coffee stall all through since June over by the Museum Green. And so you can go out and get coffee. And we are allowed to talk to one another outside. So there is still a coffee option.
Well, that's
but
good.
That's it, really.
Without caffeine, I think we'd all just sort of fold over. So you've been coming. You're not a new member of the congregation, but I don't know the story of how you first started coming. So why don't you talk about how you first came to St. Nick's?
Well, I am quite new. I actually arrived much the same time as Fergus. I'm a refugee from Brighton, and many of the Brighton churches are high, very high, and so that's what I was used to. And I knew when I was coming up to the north that this isn't the pattern. And living on the Wirral, I couldn't find anything at all. So I went, and ironically, I live across the road from the church in Port Sunlight, but it's United Reform. And I did try, and it just didn't work for me. There was no Eucharist, and it just didn't work. So then I tried a local church down the road, and it was just a jumble to me. It was a family church, but there was no pattern to the service. And I just felt, this isn't working. And now this is the spooky bit. I had a dream. I prayed and I had a dream. And I saw myself walking along Church Street, but wearing Edwardian clothes. So when I sort of woke up, I thought, well, I wonder what that's all about. And then I found out there had actually been a church in Church Street. It's where there's one of the entrances to Liverpool 1 at the moment. And so then I started to investigate that. And then I found that St. Nick's, just, you know, as I was surfing, and I found St. Nick's, and I thought, oh, well, wow, that's, it's a high, well, it's not high church, but it's highish. And it does everything that I know. And I walked in, I went on a Wednesday for the first time just to test it out. And I loved it. I loved it. And then Louis, who was there on the Wednesday, started to push. He said, oh, why don't you come on Sundays? Why don't you come on Sundays? So I thought, right, okay. And started to come on Sunday. And it was much the same time that I was walking to my art club, which is in Water Street. And, oh, sorry, that's my phone. And bumped into Louis showing Focus Around. So yeah, so that's how and I've been coming ever since, and I love it.
What a lovely story.
Well, thanks for the dream.
Yeah, it's amazing, amazing. Well, I'm glad that St. Nick's has been a blessing to you, and you are certainly a blessing to St. Nick's.
Oh, you flatter me.
Well, that's probably all we have time for, but if we do return to in-person services, do say hi to Pamela. She's very kind. She was one of the first members of the congregation to greet me on my first Sunday. So do say hello to her. So thank you very much.
Well, as we prepare for the weekend, we think ahead to our worship, which will, of course, be online, as it was for so many months earlier in the year, and is again at the moment. So the Parish Eucharist will be at 10 o'clock on Sunday morning, and that's when it's first available. You can watch it later in the day, if you wish, on our YouTube channel. Sunday school will take place as normal by Zoom at 11 o'clock, and those involved will receive the link to join. And we've got our confirmation class also by Zoom later on Sunday. So we continue with a very busy schedule for our church, and there's lots more going on underneath the surface, and with our engagement with the city and the institutions within the city. But however you're connecting with the parish at the moment, please do keep in touch. If you'd like contact or think there's someone else who'd like some contact from our pastoral team, then please just email the address that goes out every week in the Wednesday e-bulletin. But whatever you're doing at the moment, please keep safe, and I hope you have a very good weekend.